Hi guys, I am Minister LaTasha and I want to welcome you to my channel. I wanted to come to on here today with some words of encouragement. This is definitely a now word. A lot of times when you're in ministry and you're about to release a word to God's people, you know the greatest test comes to you first. So whatever you're ministering on, the test is going to come, whether it come before you release it or after you release it. And we have to be in expectations and ready and prepared and fully armored for those tests. One of the things that God has been revealing to me a lot lately has been the fruits of the Holy Spirit. And one of the fruits being self-control, self-discipline. Um, we cannot control other people's actions, but we can control how we react to things. And that has been a test for me. And I had a conversation with God because I'm like, God, okay, I want to stop allowing people to be able to get up under my skin. I want to stop allowing people to be able to shift my mood or my attitude. And in order to be able to do that, I got to first be able to transform my way of thinking. I have to practice self-control and self-discipline when it comes to that area. And the enemy knows our weaknesses. So wherever he knows you're weak at, he's going to surely send an attack in that area. So in this season, God has been transforming a lot of us inside out. He's definitely revealing to us our weak areas. And he's not revealing to us our weak areas for us to get insecure or to have questionings or to feel bad or ashamed about them. But he's showing us our weak areas so that we can improve them. So that when people come into our path, they are able to see the fruits. They are able to see that we're not the same person we used to be. They are able to see that we don't respond to things the way we used to respond. We don't live at that old address. We at a new address in Christ. And so he's definitely been transforming a lot of us inside out. The question is, have we been allowing him to complete the transformation? Are we allowing him to come in and pluck out the weeds so that the beautiful garden can continue to bloom and blossom? And first off, we have to acknowledge the fact that these areas that he's revealing to us that needs work, we have to acknowledge that we do need to work on those areas. Pride will have you walking in a state of mind thinking that those issues within you that God is trying to prune, they're not the problem. Everybody else is the problem. You don't have any problems. You may go out here and you may be a liar. And then God reveals to you that you're a liar. But pride will make you say, no, I ain't a liar. And you lying right then to yourself and to God. So in order for God to be able to do a work in us and through us, we definitely have to be delivered from that prideful spirit. That's the spirit of arrogance. We have to have a teachable spirit. We have to allow him in to do the work. And we have to acknowledge the fact that we need to be delivered. We have to acknowledge the fact that we need healing from things. And we have to acknowledge the fact that it is time for change. The first step in deliverance of any kind is first acknowledging. In order to be delivered from a soul tie, you have to first acknowledge that you have a soul tie. In order to be delivered from drugs, you have to first acknowledge the addiction. So the first step to deliverance is acknowledgement. And I've had some serious conversations with God lately because I had to acknowledge the fact that I do allow people to shift my moods, and I don't like that. I don't like to be easily angered, if that makes sense. And the fact that I'm acknowledging and I'm seeing that I've been allowing people to do that, to me, it's the first step to deliverance, and I'm excited about the deliverance. I'm excited about the transformation that God is about to do there. And we must first understand that when the enemy comes to attack, he will come through people. He will come to people close to you. He will come through people that you least expect him to come through. And although we hate that feeling, we hate to accept the fact that he does that, he does. So I want to ask you guys on today, what areas in your life is God revealing to you that you need to acknowledge you need his help in? Are you mature enough to acknowledge the fact that you do need God's help in those areas? And are you being honest and naked in prayer to him, asking him to step in and to help in those areas? We seek God about a lot of things. We seek him about a lot of things, whether it's material things, whether it's, God, I need you to do this to that person or move for this person. But do we ever come to God as a open book, saying, God, look at these pages. These words are misspelled. There's commas and periods missing. Can you please fix these pages? You know, it's hard to look in the mirror and really look in the mirror, to really see the man or the woman in the mirror. It is so easy to point fingers at everybody else. Everybody else is the problem. Everybody else. But it's hard to look at that thumb pointing back at yourself. It's an awesome thing to allow change. You know, a lot of us, we want our circumstances and our surroundings to change, but we don't want to change. And in order for our circumstances and our surroundings to change, the change must first occur in us. We have to change our mindsets. We have to change our habits. We have to change our routines. We have to change in order for things to change around us. A lot of us have been programmed incorrectly. A lot of us are doing things because of ways that we were taught, because of things that we've seen in our past, or for things that was brought down from generations that were not right. And so we become a slave to being stuck in a box instead of allowing God to lift the lids off and to set us free. Because who the Son sets free is truly free indeed. And so a lot of us are walking around in bondage with balls and chains on our ankles, simply because we don't want to allow God to do the work in us, and we don't want to change. We so comfortable in the familiar. We so comfortable in the familiar that is scary. It is so scary to take a leap of faith, because if I jump this hurdle, what's on the other side of this hill is unfamiliar to me. I don't know what to expect. If I change, then I don't know what to expect, because I'm so used to being this way. I'm so used to acting this way. I'm so used to looking this way and performing this way and being this way that I don't want to be made new, because that's unfamiliar. But we want great things. We want God to bless us with great things. And I say a lot of times that closed hands can't receive blessings. Meaning that if you so content in that old mindset and that old lifestyle that you holding on to it this tight, then how can you receive those things that you asking God for, that is requiring you to be a new being? You have to release things in order to receive things. I had to come straight from the heart on today, because God been dealing with me on some things. I am truly believing God for a lot of things. Some things materially, some things physically, some things spiritually. But I'm believing him for a lot of things. And I do know that for a lot of those things that I'm believing God for, the old LaTasha could not receive them. I had to be made new. And I'm still being made new, because I'm willing. I'm a willing vessel. I'm willing to be transformed. I'm willing to be molded into the woman that he wants me to be. I want God to work in me. I want him to be pleased with my actions and with my walk, so that he can trust me to give me the things that I'm asking for. I made a video yesterday asking you guys, can God trust you? You want him to give you a Bentley, but he gave you a Honda and you don't take care of it. You don't take it to get his oil changes. You don't keep it clean inside or out. You drive it recklessly. You don't have insurance on it. You don't get the tag renewed. You don't get the tires rotated. You treat it as though it's not a blessing, but you want him to give you a bigger blessing. That's a message in itself. I hear you, Lord. I hear you, Lord. It's so easy to complain about what we have and where we at. It's easy to do that. And the enemy, he gonna bring things and situations and people to make you complain more and more and more about what you have and where you at, when we should be thanking God and praising him for what we have and where we at, so that he know that in this small thing, in this little thing, that she is appreciative or he is appreciative and grateful for this. May not be the best, but they are appreciative of it. They are grateful for this. And because of that, I know that when I bless them with this, I will get all the glory and all the honor and all the praise, because I'm getting all the glory and all the honor and all the praise in that small thing. And that is why God blesses us from glory to glory. So we have to allow God to do the work in us. It's a heart thing. It's a heart transplant. He taking out that old heart, that stony heart, that unforgiving heart, that angry heart, that bitter heart. And he's replacing it with a godly heart, a heart that has compassion, a heart that shows kindness, a heart that is forgiving, a heart that is loving, a heart that is understanding, a heart that is slow to anger and quick to listen, a heart that is giving, a heart that accepts everything and that is appreciative of all things, and a heart that is willing to receive everything that God has for it, not only the material, the physical or the spiritual, but that is willing to receive God, a heart that displays God's character. Are you ready for that heart transplant? Are you ready for God to really do a work in you, to really shift you from that old you to that new you? And when he shifts you from that old you to that new you, don't do like how we do in the physical. You know, when we move from one address to another, we get the mail forwarded to that new address. No. We ain't forwarding nothing to this new us, because we don't live at that old address anymore. So all that stuff that was going there, it need to stay there. We ain't bringing none of the past into this. We ain't bringing none of that into this. But we just going to allow God to continue to operate in our new. I know that I've said that we're coming into the 9th month, which is the birthing season, where God is birthing things out of us, where God is about to reveal things that he has been doing within us. It's about to be made. It's about to come out. We're about to be able to look at that blessing. We're about to look in the eyes of that thing that God was doing within us. And it's a time to be excited. You know, it's a time of preparation to get prepared to bring home that bundle of joy, that blessing. God he's bringing people, he's connecting us with people that we were meant to be connected to. He's opening our eyes to people in good ways and in bad ways. He's definitely revealing. He's revealing to us people we've overlooked, because we were too entangled in the world and we was too distracted by things that was going on in our lives to see the ones that he had for us. We overlooked them. But God opening our eyes to them. He's allowing us to see them as though how he sees them, and to show you why he connected them in your path. He's also opening our eyes to those who we need to cut off. He's revealing and exposing those who are wronging you, who have bad motives and intentions towards you. He's about to reveal those things to you and those people to you. So you got to be ready to do two things. You got to be ready to accept those who he's brought into your life for his purpose. And you got to be ready to cut those off that he's revealing to you that are a hindrance and a distraction to you in this season as well. I'm excited about what God is doing. I'm excited about what he's doing in my life, and I'm excited about what he's doing in your life. And remember, in all things that you are doing in this season, make sure that you see God in it first. Don't allow the enemy to deceive you in this season. Pray that God give you a spirit of discernment, of sharp discernment. Be able to discern. Discernment is the key in this season, because we can be easily fooled by the enemy. But we don't need to be, because we don't need to be out of position or out of alignment for everything God is about to do in our lives and in us. So I pray that this message has definitely touched someone on today. It definitely touched me on today. I've definitely ministered to myself on today. And I pray that I have ministered to someone out there on today. I pray that this message has touched your heart, that you are open and ready to receive all the things that God is about to do within you and in your life. Allow him to do the work. Allow him to do the plucking out and the weeding. Allow him to do the planting and the sowing. Allow him to do what he needs to do within you, so that you can walk in the purpose and the calling that God has placed upon your life. If you guys have any prayer requests, please send those prayer requests to the email address that's listed in the description box below. Also, if you would like to sow in the ministry, that information is listed in the description box below as well. If you have not already subscribed to my channel, please do so. Also, remember to like and share. And I want you guys to always be blessed and a blessing.